What's going on, everyone? JJ here, trying to get something set up, so I'm gonna have to sorry. Anyway, JJ here. Hope everyone's doing well. I have a live stream that I just or a draft that I just joined. It's my daughter's birthday. Gotta shout her out. Happy birthday to my daughter, Avery. She's 7. She's the best. Let's do this draft in honor of her birthday. I mean, in honor of her birthday, that was one of the worst intros to a live stream imaginable. I had something going on with my browser at right as I hit live that I had to make sure was okay. Not that you guys like care, right? Like I just like having the cadence of the intro into the show kind of stuff, right? But anyway, shout out Avery, yes. Ice cream cake better be on the menu. She wants at least something with ice cream, yes. What's up, Bindles? Well, I'm like early. Hitting it early. Yeah, man, we got to do it at 9. 9 a.m. is the best time to draft. What spot did I get in this draft? Oh, we got the 11. That's good because we've been getting front half picks recently. We stand in unison. 22 is not a wide receiver number. Thank you. Aaron says right on time. Happy birthday, Avery. It was I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter account the last 12 hours. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's insane. I tweeted, and I'll just read it with my phone because I don't want to open another tab and like screw everything up. I tweeted last night as just like a fun tweet. It's a video of Matthew Golden catching a ball down the field, and it's always jarring that he's wearing 22 on his jersey. So I said, can someone in the Packers organization please beg him to change his number? Please. It's like wearing jeans to the gym. And you would have thought that I called Packers fans, all of their significant others, ugly, or that I made fun of their children. I mean, it was out of control in my mentions. And I'm jabbing back because it's late at night. I finished everything for my daughter's birthday. Good to go. I'm just chilling. What better way to pass the time than to just jab back at trolls? And so you can read my mentions and my responses because it was kind of fun last night. Ooh, we got CMC ahead of Gibbs in this draft. There's nothing to do in Green Bay other than football. Look, I mean, like I like Packers fans. I just don't like, the insanity of all that. Should I go Puka? I think I can push Puka because of the Stafford stuff. What should I do here? Maybe we just get Puka, the slight discount, and just hope that Stafford's fine. We'll just do that. We'll just get the slight discount on Puka. And then we can pick, we can go London if we want, bring back. We can go with a running back. I don't know if Stafford's fine. I don't want to say he's fine, but I'll take the slight discount. CMC at the 101, huh? Let's make a wide receiver heavy team. Let's go Brian Thomas. I know that that's not the correlation with London, but there's a little bit more. I would assume there's more London Puka starts than there are Puka Brian Thomas starts. Yeah, I mean, look, Puka has wide receiver 1 overall upside, so I'm certainly not upset that I have Puka Nacua at the 111. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Vic. I definitely don't want to be president. I'd rather live stream best ball drafts than have to worry about our world's forces. But I appreciate it. Would you say your stock has risen on Golden at all with the news that he's looking like the wide receiver one? He was already a player to target for me. He's the kind of player that you like in redraft. Dynasties, this is sort of like the dynasty versus redraft debate that I get into with people all the time because they're like, well, if he's young, why would you not be investing? Guys, I have like 18% Rome Odunze right now, and I thought Rome Odunze earlier this season was more of a sell than a buy in Dynasty because the price points are totally different, right? Like if you have an apple in one place that's $7 and one where it's 25 cents, I'll buy it for 25 cents. You know, cost is everything. So with Matthew Golden, there is more of an investment in Dynasty. Honestly, it wasn't like significantly more, but it was more where I could either have gone either way, and I had other players in his tier. But in redraft, I don't understand the people fading Matthew Golden. Like, we know the probable outcome for Green Bay is a rotation of wide receivers and a frustrating week to week, management and predictability and slotting them in your starting lineup. It's different in best ball. We know that Matthew Golden can make big plays. And this is not I'm fading Jaden Reed thing either. I love the Packers passing attack this year in best ball. You guys know that. I mean, people who have, joined this frequently know that. I've been drafting a lot of Jordan Love, a lot of Romeo Dubs, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, because I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more this year than they did last year. At what point in the summer do you start mixing in different combos at the 1-2 turn? I think we're getting there. I mean, this is already like draft 117 or something like that for me in the millie. So I got to probably start doing it soon. Would you prefer Derrick Henry and AJ Brown or Nico Collins and Bucky Irving in redraft? Probably the former. But I think both are great. Depends on the scoring too. Yeah, and Tucker Kraft. I forgot Tucker Kraft. I love Tucker Kraft. And I'm definitely putting my money where my mouth is because I have not drafted a ton of Josh Jacobs. I've preferred Chase Brown usually in that area in best ball, or going, Trey McBride. A lot of Trey McBride. So yeah, I mean that's my general stance on the Packers passing attack. Like, there's the reports about how they're gonna use Jaden Reed more in 2 wide receiver sets. We'll see. There's 2 seasons now of them not doing that. I think Matthew Golden is someone that profiles more as a perimeter guy. Jaden Reed always kind of profiled as that like slot plus. They just are not allowing him to be the plus. I love Jaden Reed as a prospect. I think that he's a pretty comparable prospect to, like, in terms of like, if you were to grade it to Matthew Golden. My model really liked Jaden Reed. It likes him a little bit less with some of the tweaks I've made, but it's still, still didn't mind him. I know, you just prepare, and then all of a sudden, here we are. All right, I think we go Kyron here to pair with Puka. Seems like an obvious choice. I think that his value is dropping a little bit too because of the Stafford stuff, because obviously we want a better offense for him to score touchdowns. But if we're going to lean into Stafford being okay in this draft, then that's what we're going to do. So we got either Evans or Kittle next. Evans is the ADP play. Opens up a stack for... this opens up a stack too. What do you guys want? I don't care. Literally either one of these guys is fine with me. I'm going to just go ADP. All right, someone said Kittle, so we'll go Kittle. Yeah, the Kyron stuff's interesting because I had him as an avoid in the draft guide, and people have kind of cooled off a little bit. And look, the draft guide is not based off of DraftKings ADP. It's based off of just general, season long ADP. And right now, and I pulled it actually just before this. Yeah, he's probably still an avoid for me because I have him a couple spots lower in running back rank. He's like the 26th overall player in season long. I think he's more of like a late third. So there's a difference between early third and late third. Everyone said Kittle, so I'm glad I went Kittle. But there's a difference between early third and late third. And I do worry a little bit about how fragile his workload is, where he kind of needs that volume on the ground to sustain because he's not getting that much through the air. And then he needs to score those touchdowns, which can, the touchdown stuff can obviously happen. But if he loses 10, 15% of the running back rushes in that offense, which I think is possible because Jarquez Hunter is pretty good. And obviously Blake Corum isn't injured and he's another year in. I think it's possible. Then that's where you're seeing that, more RB2 type production because his usage would then kind of lean towards an RB2 because he's not getting much receiving work. Clean shaven JJ. I did trim it up just now. I always go the lowest setting. Have a little bit of scruff, It's getting a little long. Tyler, what's going on? Early morning grind. Call this man coffee beans. Yeah, I don't consume caffeine though. I'm a zero caffeiner. Started doing that like 5 years ago. I don't judge people who consume caffeine though. I would love to. It just does not agree with me. My body. My wife would kill me if I had scruff. Yeah, some wives don't like the scratchiness. I like setting up a San Francisco stack, this end of the board, then Loveland Bird. Yeah, you can do that for sure. Are we assuming this week 17 game is going to look like Lions at 49ers late last season? I mean, it could. Hit the like and the sub. You're right, Tyler. I always forget. Oh boy, we got a Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels team. Oh boy. My wife prefers the full goatee, so I don't see scruff very often. Yeah, Tyler, it looks like you got some scruff going on there. Or is it just pure beard? I will never rock the mustache. I've tried. That's one thing the wife will like she'll allow me to have it, obviously. That's not the kind of relationship we have. But she might not want to get near me, if you feel me. Yeah, after McLaurin was picked, exactly. It's just like, whew. All right, I haven't got much Zay. He's been more of a fade for me amongst this group of wide receivers. Usually go more Waddle. RJ Harvey, is he rising based on the one play that he had in camp? Like I like RJ Harvey. I'm just saying we shouldn't let one play dictate things the way that it seemingly dictates things. Could go Travis Hunter though here too. Let's go Travis Hunter to make sure we get that Jacksonville stack. And then we can hopefully get a wide out next, Rome or Zay. Rome for the Kittle stuff. Let's just get Zay. It's past ADP. I don't have a ton of them. Also opens up some Green Bay stuff, potentially. This is a side of the draft where you can get Golden, Jaden Reed, that kind of stuff. Oh, there's Kitchen. There's Mike Glennon. Am I wrong, guys? Does this not look like Kitchen has the longest neck on the face of the earth? It's a strong build, man. It's a fun build. Remember when Victor Cruz caught 1 touchdown in a preseason game and we should have bought hard? Yeah, I mean, it's a little, I mean, look, we can use examples for almost anything. We knew JJ wanted any excuse to pass on all roads lead to, yeah. Exactly. I hate Roma Dunze, as everyone knows by now. I think I'm at 18% of Dunze, but I don't like him. Just remember that whenever, guys, because everyone in here is going to be cool. Everyone who's in the live streams and stuff and the one right now, you guys will be cool. But just wait. Okay. I'm telling you right now, just wait. When a Dunze inevitably has multiple crazy games and he's crushing and he's doing well. Okay. Wait for people to crush my mentions, to email me telling me that I'm stupid for not liking Roma Dunze. Even though my best ball portfolio, he's like a top 5 wide receiver for me. It is one, no matter what happens with a Dunze, I'm screwed. He does poorly. Best ball bags are bad. He does great. People are going to be yelling at me. It's how it works. I'm not complaining though. I love it. They're going to dust off the BlackBerry for the hate. Rule 1 is never tweet, and I tweeted last night. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Especially late night tweeting. You can sometimes get away with it during the day. Late night tweeting, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever good happens when you late night tweet. I did get into it with the Twitter trolls. Look, guys, I entertain myself when people come at me and say ridiculous things. It's fun to jab back. And people like will respond to me and they're like, "Why are you letting them get to you?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm not. Look at what I'm responding with." Like one guy mentioned to me, he's like, "You're complaining about a meaningless thing." Meanwhile, one of his most recent tweets was him complaining about someone's top 10 college offensive coordinator lists. It's just, I mean, Twitter is just projection. Life is just projection. People just yell at you about the things that they're insecure about. I do the same thing. Everyone does the same thing. I just don't yell at people very frequently. Some people make it their identity. Rome wasn't built in a year. There we go. We were waiting for it, buddy. We were waiting for it. Completely random. Your late round has a small segment, but anyway, you can have an episode for auction drafts. I did one last year, actually. And it's pretty evergreen in nature. I don't have the episode number in front of me, but if you scroll through the feed, you can see one from last year. Some of those Twitter Packer fans giving the rest of us a bad rap. I mean, yeah, it's certainly wasn't good. I do enjoy yelling at people from time to time on the app. Sometimes you got to let it out, man. Sometimes you got to let it out. I think what annoys me most is whenever it's not the people that are like saying mean things or like just being absolutely insane. It's the people then that respond and be like, "Yo, bro, don't give them the time of day." It's like, let me just do me. You guys only see a handful of the people that I respond to. A lot of times I'm not responding to them at all. All right. Let's go. I mean, I think we can reach for Reed a little bit here. Connect him with Zay. Don't love the running backs in this range. I think the quarterback situation is going to be in the following round. This could be a double tap Green Bay wide receiver situation. Or Josh Downs, because Downs and Jacksonville. So we'll see whatever. All right, we'll go Downs. We'll go Downs. We'll go Downs for Jacksonville bring back. Plus, I think this is the kind of build to go with a guy like Downs where I think there's a lot of volatility with his profile, just given the offensive environment. But he's just so good. And if he's the wide receiver 6 on my team, I feel better about that. But now we're opened up still with Green Bay. We can get Green Bay. We have a bring back for Green Bay. We can get Trevor Lawrence. We have a bring back for Jacksonville. Obviously, we can get the Rams still later, and we can get Brock Purdy. Admittedly, though, I don't have that much Josh Downs, which is another reason I went that route. And it makes me sick because I think he's really good. It's just one of those situations where I have not been overly bullish on the Colts. I've drafted some Anthony Richardson and, I'll get some Michael Pittman. I'm not fading and Tyler Warren. I'm not fading them, but I haven't been overweight just because I don't love the offensive environment. Ticino and a Millie Maker, my dream date. I've been doing a lot more chamomile tea again. I used to be a big chamomile tea guy. It calms you down. Makes you chill. It's hard not to prefer Pittman. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Tyler. I have more Pittman than Downs. I think I'm at like maybe 4 or 5% Downs. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think I could have gone Golden there for sure, but it's an exposure play. It gives us a bring back. It opens things up a little bit for different possibilities because this also opens up then like an Anthony Richardson QB3 situation. I also think he's a big play kind of player. Like he can be that, which will work. Some people are going to like Downs. Kitchen doesn't like Downs. Yeah, people say it's a bedtime. For me, it's just a calming tea. It doesn't make me tired. I know that's like what it's about, but like it doesn't put me to sleep like it does other people. Like I don't need it before I go to bed or anything like that. A lot of wide receivers. It's good though. That means that there's going to be some quarterbacks here. I mean, we can throw ETN there, but I'd rather make sure. I think the quarterback run is going to come. I don't know. I don't think we can get Trevor Lawrence here. I think it's early. Maybe we do get ETN. And Purdy. Fields still sitting there is really difficult to not. Like I've been taking him a ton with the injury stuff. But I think in this case, I'm going to go Purdy unless he gets drafted. There goes ETN. I mean, it could just be a double tap. What's the team in the corner doing at the turn? All right, he has Knicks. All right. We're going to go Purdy first. I don't want to go Andrews just because of Kittle and maybe though. We'll see. Yeah, maybe we go Andrews. I still think Likely's going to obviously play at some point. We already have Kittle. I kind of want to go Fields if he's there. And I know we don't have any stack. But if we get Trevor Lawrence then too, and we just have like a really, really good room, and that way we can push Lawrence a little bit. I'm going Fields. I don't want to fall behind a quarterback. Not when the team is built solidly enough. I don't think tight end was the move. And Fields obviously is someone that's, we can get Mason Taylor, we can get Josh Reynolds at the end. Yeah, there we go. Running back room of Eckler, Wright, and Tootin incoming. Not wrong, buddy. Not wrong. I would have easily gone Andrews if I didn't have Kittle. But I'm assuming a lot of quarterbacks are going to fall off the board here. The other reason I did that is because two teams have two elite like you got Mahomes and Lamar, and you have Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. So those teams won't take a quarterback more than likely, but that's going to force these other teams that don't have quarterbacks here. There's 3 of them right here. There could be 5 quarterbacks hypothetically drafted just by those 3 teams over the next 2 rounds. So maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I read the board wrong and was thinking about it wrong, but I'd rather play it safe at quarterback. Like we've done this all summer on DraftKings. And this still opens us up for Trevor Lawrence as a QB3. Matthew Stafford as a QB3. Jordan Love as a QB3. I think Lawrence is ideal. And this team right here is seemingly stacking. Yeah, they got Nix and Ingram. So they don't have anyone on Jacksonville. I'm gonna assume we can push Trevor Lawrence into the 12th if he does make it. So here's all the quarterbacks. Like since we took that, there's been 4 quarterbacks drafted in this round. And I'm expecting more in this next round. We can get like Loveland, Burden type. We can bring back this 49er stack with like a Roshan or a Manungai as well. Man, Judkin's going at the 11 too. Feels early. I personally would not be drafting Judkins at all right now. Of course, Trevor Lawrence gets drafted. And then there goes Michael Penix. Not that I care about Penix, but we're getting more quarterbacks. T-Law going here with absolutely no jag. Little tilting. But at least we're not going to feel like we need to... I don't need to force quarterback, even in the next 2 picks. Jordan Love is still out there, though. There goes Loveland. That's a little bit annoying. I mean, we could go Ayuk, too. Ayuk actually fits this build really, really well. Because we're heavy at wideout. And then we just got to pound. We're probably done at wideout at 7 if we get Ayuk. I don't think this is... I don't really look... I'm not... Okay, let me rephrase this. I'm not heavy on Ayuk, but I do not think that this is a situation where he's totally cooked, and this is also a second half of the season type scenario and situation. So we're gonna go Ayuk, get a stack with Purdy. and we could just get Love. Yeah, I like Javonte too as like this early season work. I don't know. Should we go Love or Willing or Javonte? Since we have Fields and Purdy. Certainly not going to regret Jordan Love. I think the correlation says get Jordan Love. Could also go Luther Burden, but we're heavy on wideout. I think I'm going to go Jordan Love. We're heavy at quarterback, but I think that these kinds of builds are interesting when you think about advance rates in your individual league and people falling behind a quarterback a little bit, but also when they're stacked and you have those outs in the playoffs. I feel good about it, especially as 9th, 10th, and 12th. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But we got to get some running backs, right? We only have Kyron. To me, the Javonte pick, yes, makes sense for a build where you only have the one running back early, your hero, and you need some stuff to happen for other running backs to get work, and he's probably going to get work to start the year. So I get that in theory. But I also think in a full PPR environment like DraftKings, there are guys like Rico Dowdle or Justice Hill or guys who might hit a negative game script that could also do that for you. Justice Hill would be perfect for this build. But we saw the Green Bay thing happening back with the Jaden Reed stuff earlier on. Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. Probably more of a floor play than an advance rate one. Hey, JJ, big fan. Can you give a recap of your team thus far? Sure. Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Kyron Williams, George Kittle, Travis Hunter, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, Brandon Ayuk, and Jordan Love. This is we're about to get serious with some running backs and then throw some tight end darts at the end. Mason Taylor would be great for this team too. Yeah, the Justice Hill comments, I agree, because they were talking about Keaton Mitchell and they were saying that it's going to be hard for Keaton Mitchell to find the field because they have two good running backs in Justice Hill and Derrick Henry in front of them. Like, here's the thing. Justice Hill is their negative game script running back. Like, we should project that. Which means Baltimore, how many negative game scripts will they be in? Like hurry up games, like 5 probably this year. So there's a chance where he not only could just see some like end of the first half, 2-minute drill type stuff, but if they're in that negative game script, he's got some opportunity to give us like 3 to 4 spiked weeks. All right, let's see what kind of Burden's just chilling there. Like Eckler gives us some of that early season production probably. I mean, Jaden Blue's still there. Ray Davis. This is the part of the draft that I love. I love these running backs. Garendo fits this build. Obviously Tootin. I think we got to probably push like an Eckler. Obviously Burden fits this really, really well, but I don't think that we can afford falling back at running back anymore. Someone just take Burden to take me out of my misery. Yeah. Justice Hill becoming your new Marshawn Lloyd. Like I just start. Thank God someone took Burden. I just starred all of these running backs. I'm assuming Bigsby got drafted. Yeah. Yeah. Bigsby went 1208. I mean, this is a Tootin team, probably, right? Fits the Jacksonville theme. Yeah, but the problem with Eckler is just going to be on the field whenever they're in a favorable game script for him. All right, we're going to go Tootin, which I know doesn't solve the early season stuff. So we'll try to pair him with Eckler, who might give us a little bit more of that. I know Garendo fits better, but we need some of that early season production right now. Could also go Jerome Ford, but he's sometimes there in the next round. What do you guys think, Ford or Eckler? You guys have a strong opinion? Deeb is saying Ford. Ford's probably the play for this build. I got wow, I'm pretty split. I think I'm going Ford with this build. I feel better about his early season projection. The schedule, I actually don't, but the schedule is more a Brian Robinson schedule to start the year for Washington. Eckler will still get his. Yeah, I think it's fine to like Eckler more straight up, but for this build going forward. Roshan works for this build. I don't know what this is all about, buddy. Still don't have our tight ends, but we can wait tight end. I doubt I'll be streaming drafts outside of the Patreon. What, Ford going against Pittsburgh? Is that what you're talking about? Brother, you gotta like be a little bit more detailed. I can't really understand what you're saying. How is Kitchen not JJ's avatar? I mean, that's a great point. That would be the one. I feel like Kitchen's long neck picture should be my avatar. The long neck Kitchen. Yeah, exactly. Ford's a big play guy. Like he's done this plenty of times in the past. And also it's a full PPR platform. Not that, it's obviously good for Eckler too. Are we just saying Ford week 17 because the matchup in that game is so ugly? The reason we went Ford over Eckler here was simply because of the early season stuff, because we only had Kyron Williams up until round 13. Of course Ford catches passes. That's how they've deployed him. That's how they deployed him when they had Chubb. And now there's a little bit more of that early down upside because their freaking second round pick is an idiot. All right, Rico, I think works. Mason Taylor, bringing a wrap around next round. Let's go Rico. We're just getting bodies. Oh, I forgot Justice Hill. Should have gone Justice Hill. I don't think I need to force Mason Taylor either, so we'll go Justice Hill over Mason Taylor. Oh, I got sniped. All right, we're going Mason Taylor then. Should have gone Justice Hill and Mason Taylor. Would have brought this together better. Rico's fine, though. I never draft him. I don't have mental storage committed to his career. Guys, I'll just pull up his numbers from last year. You guys are acting like he's like this like pathetic. He had 63 targets 2 years ago. He had 43 last year in 14 games. He's averaged like 40 receptions a season over his last two. It's weird. It's weird because I was drafting Jerome Ford before the Judkins stuff happened because I thought he was just their negative game script back and they're not going to be very good. And so he can be on the field more. But yeah, I mean, I think he's just like, he's a very unsexy pick. Yeah, I understand that this Brown Steelers game is terrible. But I also think that we have to like still analyze the fact that Cleveland's top running back doesn't even have a contract right now. But here's the thing, it's Cleveland. We know they're going to be bad. We want their negative game script back. It's just like last year they threw the ball a lot, especially with Jameis. That's the reason that Jerry Jeudy was even remotely good, or like as good as he was, is what I should say, is because they were throwing the ball so much. He ran like 200 more routes than he typically runs. I don't think we're going to see that this year, and I think Judy's a fade. I don't think I've drafted him once in this format. But with that being said, like, just because a team is going to be horrendous doesn't mean that there's going to be no usable players from that team. And I think that we have to be open-minded about a lot of things going different ways and big plays being broken. Like, we just want dudes on the field who are going to be playing a good full PPR role, which is what I would say Jerome Ford does. Like, we want pass catching backs, which is what Rico Dowdle is, which is what Jerome Ford is. We want players in good offenses. Don't get me wrong. It's something that I write about in the guide every year. But I think also best ball is just different, where part of that good offensive environment is about predictability and slotting them in your starting lineup and saying, I know they're going to be good, therefore this guy's going to be good. There's a better baseline for those players. But those like guys in bad, like, we got to stop pretending that like when an offense is bad, they're going to score 0 touchdowns. Jordan Love will be top 10 this year. I hope. I have a lot of them. Yeah, I don't think I have enough Cedric Tillman either. There's a chance that Cedric Tillman is just like, do I say it? Do I say it? More productive than Jerry Jeudy? Just saying. There's a chance. I don't know. Brashard Smith? Woody Marks? We take a chance on Woody Marks first. We need more of these bodies. I think we take a chance on Woody Marks. Don't really care about correlation right now. We had enough correlation in the lineup earlier. This is a Kyle Monangai team too. I'll tell you what, whenever I ask for the ratings of this team, I'm thinking it's going to be like a 7 to 8 team for people. But if Tyler's still in here, Tyler's going to like this team. This is a Tyler build. All right, let's go Brashard Smith. He's getting more work. We could go Jarquez, but we just need some running back bodies here. No, I'm just doing one draft. Kitchen, are you going to do one later today? Kitchen might do one later. We do need another tight end and then one more running back. I want Manungai as the last running back for the San Francisco bring back. All right, here we go. Kitchen's going to do a draft later. Be on the lookout. I'm out most of this afternoon because I'm going to hang out with my daughter and my wife and my in-laws. For her birthday. She's 7. I have a 7-year-old, guys. I have a 7-year-old. Like, I remember being 7. It's crazy. Tight end, we can go Higbee. We could go. Do we have? Oh, we could go Gadsden and pair him with Woody Marks. Theo just as a good solid pick. Jatavian Sanders to pair with Rico. You have a 41-year-old. That's true too. That's true too. Somehow I have a child who's older than me. Hey, happy birthday to your son. Yeah, isn't it nuts? Like, Avery's going into 2nd grade, and I'm like, I remember 2nd grade, like, vividly. People are going to hate this team because they hate whenever you get uncomfortable at running back. Kitchen, what time are you going to live stream today, buddy? You want to let everyone know? You can shout it out right now. I mean, you could take over this stream if you want, buddy. And I can just duck out. All right, here we go. Get out of here with this Central Time garbage. 1 p.m. Eastern, guys. Kitchen will be drafting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Not noon CT. What is this CT garbage? Under discussed, Miami and Cleveland already thin in secondary and now lose. Yeah. Yeah, the Miami one especially is interesting because we at least know they can run some track meets. C-dubs. Sorry, man. Glad to see you, though. Likely getting surgery on foot. Likely to miss 6 weeks. Likely to miss week 1. A lot of likelies in there. 10 a.m. PT. No one does this. CT is not the best time zone. I think that realistically, based on when things play, like if I'm being totally honest, I think Mountain Time is probably the best time. That's what Sal just said, too. He's a Mountain Time man. I mean, more Flacco, the better for fantasy, for sure. Newfoundland has its own time zone. All right, we're going Kyle Manungai. And then probably Jatavian Sanders, if he's avail in the final round. There goes Terrence Ferguson. Rondé Gadsden. So we'll go Jatavian Sanders. All right. Everyone, get ready to grade this team out of 10. Decimals preferred. It's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how people grade this team. Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, Kyron Williams. So we have a little bit of Rams going. George Kittle, Travis Hunter to pair with Brian Thomas, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed. That's a week 17 matchup. Josh Downs to bring it back from that Jacksonville game. Brock Purdy to go with George Kittle, Justin Fields, which I believe, no, we have Mason Taylor, Justin Fields, Brandon Ayuk to go with Brock Purdy and George Kittle for a late season boost, hopefully. Jordan Love to go with Jaden Reed and Zay Flowers for week 17. Bashal Tutin, we're just adding to the Jags. Jerome Ford, the most controversial pick of this draft. Jerome Ford was next. Rico Dowdle, Mason Taylor. So we do have a stack with Justin Fields, Woody Marks, Brashard Smith, Kyle Monangai. We're just spraying and praying that we get one of these rookies to give us something. Jatavian Sanders. We're just hoping that we need one of these rookie running backs to hit. See, I told you guys, Tyler would love this team. Yeah, this is one of those teams that, like, I think that if you can get it through, it could be a beast down the stretch with all the rookies. Brandon Ayuk coming back. No Stafford with Puka and Kyron, also weird. Yeah, see, I knew this was going to happen. I knew that there were going to be people who hated this team. You got to feel uncomfortable. It could be a 0. It could be bad. It's like the one meme of that one girl who's like, that's what this team is. This is probably the most controversial team that I've, there we go. Shocking. Can I just say, if you guys have been on these live streams, we've talked about the Bengals and Zach Moss and how I didn't think he was a thing because it wasn't logical to think he was a thing. Here we go. Jason hates it. Jason must also like Matthew Golden's number 22. I'm just kidding, Jason. You're more than welcome to have an opinion on this team. Yeah, I agree, Matt, but that's kind of the name of the game, no? This is what Jason said. Bad running backs and no Lawrence and Stafford. This is fun. This is a fun. I love that people are so split on this team. This is like the quintessential, the Denny Carter would send a tweet when he was on Twitter. He would always send the tweet where he drafted a 0 running back team. And he would say that the responses were always like, man, that's a great team. Your running backs could use some work, but that's a really good team. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. You don't have to like the build. We could do some really safe drafting and make a really aesthetically pleasing build, Like the last draft I did, I think it was a good team, but it was also aesthetically pleasing. You get a couple running backs early, so you have a foundation there. You get a solid tight ends that look good on paper. It's pretty easy to build like an aesthetically pleasing team like that, right? Oh, so this is more of a you just like Brees more than Kyron. I don't always look at, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not always looking at the individual players like that in best ball since I'm doing just a high volume. Pack says, hi, JJ. I only listen to you while driving, and I love it. Listen to all your stuff. Actually, go on now to finish your Best Ball Bro podcast, but saw you were live streaming. Welcome. Will Denny be in Living the Stream this year? I mean, our plan is to do Living the Stream. Early, you have Kyron Ford and Dowdle with rookies late. Yeah, I mean, not only that, but like Woody Marks might get some run, or Brashard Smith might get some run, like some random stuff going on early. But like, I don't want to say this, but like hypothetically, you can still take like semi bad scores at running back early on and still get out of your pod, out of your league. This is definitely, though, I think Mike nailed it, where this is if I can escape and get out of these 12 teams, I'll be in really good shape. Like, this is one of those teams that can really work in the playoff weeks. Cool. I appreciate the controversy. I appreciate people disagreeing and like, saying like this is, but I'm going to obviously defend the choices and stuff and explain to you guys why I disagree with what you're saying. Probably the most all over the place rating though for a team that I've done on one of these live streams. We'll see how it goes. I think the likelihood is that it's not going to win this tournament. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. Right? Here's a question. I wanted to ask you / invite you. We are trying to get the best ball section up on Reddit. I was wanting to find a good way to invite you to some discussion on there. I mean, I'll hop in there. I don't know if I have time for an AMA or anything because I'm doing one on the fantasy football sub. But that's cool. I didn't even know that there was a best ball subreddit. Now everyone knows there's some advertising. Check out the best ball subreddit. Like this video if you hate the build. Look, guys, if you hate this build, if you hate this team, please like and subscribe. Please. I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to go get ready and do some stuff before I head out for my daughter's birthday. Thanks all of you, as always, for hopping in, chatting. This was a great stream. A lot of fun. Love talking to you guys. Kitchen will be on later. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. He will be on this exact channel. So go subscribe to the channel and you will get notified when Kitchen is live. So he's doing another draft. So definitely check that out. That's only in a few hours. And we'll talk to you then. So I will maybe be back tomorrow. I don't know what my schedule looks like, but regardless, thank you guys for tuning in.